is going to be the first of the new stream formatting. So moving forward, every day I'm going to be doing 1 to 2 Magic Online leagues to start off the morning, and then I'm going to be transitioning into Magic Arena in the afternoon to see how that goes in terms of viewer numbers and counts and stuff like that. Trying to find the right balance of optimizing viewer counts while still getting to include modern content and Magic Online content from Legacy, stuff like that. Yeah, we have a new sponsor today. We added them yesterday. Hurly Burly Studios does professional. I actually have. She sent me. I always sample products before I advertise them. Right? They're kind of. I should pull them out of the sleeves maybe. But I have a set of basic lands here that are extended by her. Got a Christmas gift yesterday. My wife showed me a positive pregnancy test. Nice, congrats. Kids are fun. Kids are fun. They're life-changing, but they're fun. All right, Narset Cannon. So to run down this one really quick here. This is one we've played a bunch. This deck embodies everything that's fair and balanced about Modern. It's capable of winning on the very first turn of the game. And how you win is by putting Narset Enlightened Master into play, and then attacking with it and flipping into cards like Fury of the Horde and Relentless Assault to give you extra combat steps. And then eventually you can get Omniscience and cast an Emrakul to take an extra turn potentially, but you can also just like win by attacking with Narset 7 times if they're at 20. The most important thing to know about this deck is that this is a deck that isn't about beating things. This is a deck where you ask your opponent, do you have the thing? And when they answer no, hopefully you kill them. How long do you think until you play Standard? Probably about 2.5 to 3. About noon is my goal. It's hard to balance though because Magic Online leagues kind of lock us in. So to somewhere between 2 and 3 hours we'll start Standard. And I'll tweet if you follow me on Twitter or if you're in the Discord. I'll post on there on both of those when we change. So one of the things this deck likes to do is this deck has to choose to be on the draw because it has 4 copies of Gemstone Caverns in it, which it puts into play. This deck doesn't have bad matchups, just bad draws, exactly. I think this hand doesn't really do anything though, right? Like I don't have a Goryo's Vengeance, I don't have an Narset, I don't have a way to find either of those things. Like I have land Faithless Looting, but I think the looting just has to do too much here. It's probably a mulligan. Gross. This hand has Narset Goryo's, but doesn't have a way to get in the bin. This deck does a lot of mulliganing and then conceding. All right, let's try again. Take 2. Second verse, same as the first. This one's always a quick league. I might sneak in a third Modern League this morning, depending on how quickly this and the Human League go. My plan is to play Modern until about noon most days. A quarter of a year down. Acidy Dragon, thanks for the 3 months. Welcome. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here. Happy holidays. Watching the spreadsheet on my 55-inch TV doesn't help me read the cards. Yeah, the card text is real small in Magic Online. That's where, like, there were a lot of people that were giving pushback when they cut the text boxes off the cards on Magic Arena, but, like, come on now. Can you, like the text box? And then there's always someone that pipes up that's like, yeah, I can read every word on that Brilliant Ultimatum, and I can read every word on that Edge of the Infinite. Sure. I'm sure there's some people that can, but it's not a pleasant experience. Fun and intro. We are actually going to play our second deck today. Is a genuinely good deck. We're going to play some humans next. We're just starting Dimir Spy. We started the day off by mulliganing to 4 and dying. This deck does a lot of mulligan. This deck doesn't actually play a lot of Magic. It like mulligans a little bit and then like it pops off. Or it dies, one of the two. Yeah, I agree, gamer. I've definitely come around to how Arena has things set up. That's true. That's true. Last time we played humans, it did not go particularly well. So hopefully today goes a little bit better. Man, we're so close. We might actually hit 40,000 followers on Twitch before the end of the year. We got 95 more followers to go before we cross that line. And this deck, again, needs to choose to be on the draw because of things like Gemstone Caverns. Aeons has lands and Goryos, but doesn't have a way to get anything in. And we've got Serum Powder here, which lets me exile all the cards in my hand and take a do-over. Exiling a Goryo's Vengeance feels a little bit bad, though. Alright, so what does this hand do? I think I'm supposed to keep this. I think I keep, and I'm going to spoils for a Faithless Looting. Gemstone Caverns is legendary, which is why you only put one into play. What's the best deck in Modern? There isn't a best deck in Modern. Modern has a variety of archetypes that are very reasonably competitive. The best deck in Modern is the one you don't mind losing with. Ain't that the God's honest truth? I think I just spoils for Faithless Looting here, because if they take it, I can still cast it next turn. Here's step one with the Narset deck. Do we kill ourselves with Spoils the Vault? So we get to name a card, and we flip cards off the top of our deck till we find the named card. And then that card goes into our hand, and we lose life equal to the number of cards we flip past. Alright, down to 9. And worth noting here, I did not flip past another copy of Goryo's Vengeance. So there are 3 copies of Goryo's Vengeance with 34 cards right now. I assume they're going to take the Faithless Looting here. And then we will pitch Simian Spirit Guide and flash back Faithless Looting to put the Narset in the bin. They took Simian Spirit Guide. That seems wrong, but okay. Maybe they have another discard spell. I feel like if I was on their side of the table, I'd take Looting, but I guess it depends on like what else they have going on. Well, that's pretty good. Well, now if we draw Goryo's Vengeance, we get to kill them on turn 1. Or Simian Spirit Guide, we get to kill them on turn 1. So we found our combo piece. So unless they have double discard spell or a piece of graveyard hate here, we get to flip this into play next turn. Well, I guess they could just have Tarmogoyf as a blocker. That's awkward. It's a 3/4. Rude. Things we also can't beat. A blocker. Okay, well, let's do this. We could hit an Enter the Infinite or an Omniscience. All right, so what does this let us do? So I can. I think this actually lets us kill them. So they block here. And then I get to pull from Eternity another Narset into my graveyard. And then I get to enter the Infinite, which is going to draw me another Simian Spirit Guide. Oh, this one's actually already in the bin. So just enter the Infinite here lets me guaranteed draw a Spirit Guide. And I'm going to put a copy of Omniscience back on top of my deck here. So we guaranteed get to cast that. And then I get to Goryo's Vengeance, Narset back into play here, pitching this, which she comes in with haste off the Goryo's Vengeance. and then I get to cast this Relentless Assault to give myself another combat step. And now Narset has first strike for whatever reason, so she gets to attack into this and live. How does deck familiarity and luck play into paper tournaments? But how does one player win both tourneys in the same weekend? That was a dual format tournament, Walker. So the Invitational is both standard and modern. So that wasn't 2 tournaments, that was 1 tournament. Still hard to do. I mean, it's hard to win any Magic tournament. You gotta remember, Magic's a game where, like, the best players win, like, you know, 65, 70% of their matches. There's a lot of variance in Magic. So now what we do is we get to cast Emrakul with the Omniscience, which lets us take an extra turn. And then one of the things people don't realize about Enter the Infinite is that you can cast it here just to put a card back on top of your deck. So this way I can start my next turn and not lose by decking out. So you cast the Enter the Infinite off the Omniscience. That was a good game of Magic. Good, clean living. So against discard decks, we board in a bunch of copies of Leyline of Sanctity. And we board out 3 copies of Omniscience and a Spoils the Vault usually are my go-to trims. Because you really only need, like, 1 Omniscience, because, like, once you hit Enter the Infinite, you just, like, do the trick we did there, which is put the Omniscience back on top of your deck. Just good clean living. And I would like the record to reflect that the only reason we won on turn 2 that game was because we were incredibly unlucky and they played a discard spell on turn 1. If they hadn't played a turn 1 discard spell, we would have killed them on the first turn of the game. Which is why we're boarding in these Leyline of Sanctity, to, like, you know, keep those pesky discard spells at bay. Just good, clean pig flipping, exactly. Alright, so this hand doesn't have any lands in it, so we're gonna mulligan, obviously. And actually, getting to Serum Powder away a Narset's a big deal, because when you exile Narset with Serum Powder, it then makes your pull from Eternities better later, because you can pull from Eternity your Narset into your discard pile. So we get a free mulligan to 7 here. And then I think I just go ahead and keep this. It has a Leyline of Sanctity in it, and it has a Faithless Looting and a Gemstone Cavern. So, like, obviously we need to hit some things here, but this hand's, like, pretty reasonable. I think I'm actually going to exile the Fury of the Horde here, just so I have, like, maximum lands this game. Watch you play elves, many other players, this is energy, so you notice a lot of people, when they shuffle, they look away. Is that a common courtesy? So yes, that is exactly correct. When you shuffle your opponent's deck during competitive Magic, you should always look away from the deck, so that way there's no possible chance you could be doing any sleight of hand nonsense, basically. Well, Narset's a great draw. So if we draw Spirit Guide Goryo's Vengeance, we kill them on 1. We did not draw Spirit Guide Goryo's Vengeance because we are incredibly unlucky. Do I need this Omniscience? Probably not. Alright, it's just looking for Goryo's Vengeance here. Pull from Eternity. Nope, spin these. And they could have Graveyard Hate at this point, because we're post-board and they know what we're doing. So, like, if they have, like, Surgical Extraction here, we could be in trouble. Actually, it's possible I should keep the Pull from Eternity because of potential Graveyard Hate. I should, like, discard a land there. Alright, Goryo's Vengeance, please. Alright, probably dead. I don't think we can beat this Scavenger Goose. Should the City of Brass be Mana Confluence? I don't know. It just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter is the answer. Maybe they'll be silly and tap out. But if they have a brain in their head, we'd be dead. We're dead. I'm gonna give them one chance to tap out here. All right, onward, upward, backward, forward. What are the advantages of Magic Online versus Magic Arena? In my mind, there's only one advantage to Magic Online over Magic Arena, and that's doing what we're doing right now, which is we're currently playing a format of Magic called Modern, which is a format that uses Magic's older cards. So Magic Online has a majority of all of the cards in Magic's history. It doesn't have every card in Magic's history, but it has a lot of them. And you can play formats like Legacy and Modern and Vintage and older limited formats like Cube on Magic Online that are likely never going to come to Magic Arena. When did the Flooped Pig emote get made? A while ago. It's been there for a hot second at this point. You can buy singles on Magic Arena too. You can buy wild cards and get guaranteed wild cards. So you can effectively buy singles on Magic Arena. The only people telling you can't buy singles on Magic Arena are people spreading FUD. Now, you can't resell cards on Magic Arena. You do have the ability to resell cards on Magic Online, which is something that Magic Arena will never be able to do. Yeah, you're guaranteed wild cards when you buy booster packs on Magic Arena, so you can effectively buy wild cards. I'm gonna discard these two. I'm gonna discard these two. It doesn't really matter. So if we're incredibly lucky next turn and don't die to our Spoils of the Vault, I'll be able to Spoils for Goryo's Vengeance and then Pitch Spirit Guide, use City of Brass, Goryo's Vengeance, then Narset into play here. However, spoiling and not dying against the burn deck is kind of a challenge. All right. Well, we're not here to not go for it. So we're gonna take. So we're taking 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're gonna take 5 plus whatever we take from the Spoils of the Vault. So we need to have the spoils resolve and be at 4. We need to be at 4 here after this resolves. Or we could die. I think this is Magic Online locking up because we died. just good, clean Magic the Gathering right there. Just keep in mind that Magic the Gathering in no way resembles gambling. Magic the Gathering is a skill-based game where the better player often wins. So it's just like I'm legally obligated by Wizards of the Coast to tell you that. That's not true. That's not true. I'm sure every time I say Magic is gambling though, there's lawyers at Wizards of the Coast that are like running around with chickens without a head. It's like, oh no, he's telling them the secrets. Oh no. Turn 2 kill. I mean, technically that was turn 4, right? Like they took 2 turns, I took 2 turns, like 2 plus 2 is 4. Just like good clean Levin. Listen, it's not that this deck is bad, chat. It's that this deck is incredibly hard to play. If it was, I mean, if this deck was easy to play, everybody would play it. Come on now. It's not that the deck is bad. Morning, Anner. And good morning to you too, Tannen. Hey, Iceman, thanks for the 4-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. It's for the 3rd of a year. All right. Draw me a land into a Goryo's Vengeance. Or into a Faithless Looting. All right, there's a land. Faithless Looting, please. All right. So you're saying there's a chance. Oh, you know what? I probably shouldn't play this, and I should pitch this to hand size. That's what I should do. That's what I should do. I should keep that in my hand, and I should discard this to hand size next turn. All right, well, they gave us a land, so Goryo's Vengeance, or Faithless Looting is actually lethal next turn, potentially. Oh, no! They played interaction! That's so incredibly rude. Why would you interact with me, opponent? That's just the stone cold bratwurst right there. Onward, upward, backward, forward. It's a good one. It's a good one to start the morning off. You know, don't these people understand Modern's not about interacting? Just they go on their side of the table, I go on my side of the table. You put your hand in the air when you've won the game. That's how Modern was meant to be played. Come on now. Jake the Jackal, not the interaction. How could they do this? What's going on? Thanks for the 4 months. Thanks for shipping your Bezo bucks back this way again. Yeah, the new plan moving forward is to do the Ugly Magic program to play some Modern and some Legacy to start every stream. So I'm going to be doing Magic Online and Arena a minimum of 5 days a week now. So I'll be doing a couple leagues of Modern / Legacy to start the day, and then we'll be transitioning into Standard on Arena afterwards. Get a little variety in our lives. See how that does for viewer numbers and YouTube numbers and all that jazz. I'm still new at this. I've been streaming Magic for a long time, but I've only been full-time at this for a year, so like I'm still trying to like find the right balance to optimize numbers and maximize what viewers want to see and what people are willing to pay to see. Can we bring this back into a 3-2? Listen, the key to never being disappointed in life is setting your goals low so you can reach them reasonably. So I expect to win 2 games per Narset league. If I win 2 games per Narset league, I consider that a good league. So we've already won 1 league. 1 game, I mean. So, you know, we're halfway there. Oh, we're halfway there. Oh, do. The purpose of the change is aimed for consistent viewer experience and varied or yours. A little bit of column A and a little bit of column B, Korluski. So my wife and I were also able to finagle our schedules, so I don't have to be done at 3 every day. So I'm going to be streaming a little bit longer each day. I'm going to be doing 7 to 8 hours every day as opposed to just 6. So having a little variety in there is good for me too. Also, like, the way Twitch works, viewer numbers always tend to be lower for the first couple of hours that you stream, at least the first hour and a half or so. So since Magic Online numbers are worse anyways, doing it during the build-up time for the streams probably makes sense, but I don't know if that's actually going to work out that way, so we'll see. I tend to make all my decisions based on data. Very, very data-driven metrics. Look at the metrics and do the things that make sense based on the metrics that I'm seeing. I mean, our hands have not been very good today. Woof. Yeah, I can't, like, I guess I Serum Powder this, but like Serum Powdering away double Goryo's Vengeance feels real bad. This is definitely a keep. Almost died twice today, fitting that it's my 13th. Mr. Tasty, be careful, don't die. Death is not an ideal outcome. Thanks for the 13 months, welcome back. Everybody had a good Christmas, having a good holiday season. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Alright, slow and steady. Looks like their deck's doing something kind of slow. It's like the Mono Red, Steamkin, Arclight Phoenix shenanigans on their side of the table. Double Fiery Temper. Alright, we're dead. Yeah, I'm probably supposed to cut the spoils against the pseudo burn deck, just bring in the ley lines. People are so stupid. Someone asked me a question about one of the decks that I played, and I was like, well, it's like that because that's how the person who submitted the deck had it. And they were like, well, why? And I was like, I don't know, you'd have to ask the person who built the deck, I guess. Yeah, Sand's definitely a keep. to go ahead and Gemstone Caverns, ditch the Brilliant Ultimatum. But why? I don't know. I don't know is the answer. So we're looking for a Narset here, followed by lands. Hey, look at that. Look at that. All right, if we draw, you know, sweet. So you just need a mana source for next turn. One mana source, please. I will take one mana source. What's this deck trying to do? You put Narset into play with Goryo's Vengeance, then your opponent dies subsequently if you draw well. It's a good experience. Yeah, I liked doing the YouTube exclusive stuff, but the amount of money that they bring in relation to the amount that streaming on Twitch does, it just means that they're just not going to be feasible, unfortunately. So like I might do some more YouTube exclusives in the future if I need to like take a few days off again, but they're not going to be a regular thing. All right, so we hit them with this, then we cast Brilliant Ultimatum. So this is people asking how this deck wins. This is how this deck wins. So we cast Brilliant Ultimatum. And then Brilliant Ultimatum's going to cast this Enter the Infinite. So we get to choose. They split these cards into 2 piles, and then I choose which one to cast for free. So we're going to choose to cast whichever pile the Enter the Infinite is in. And then we cast the Enter the Infinite and put Omniscience on top of our deck as the only card. And then we cast Fury of the Horde by exiling 2 red cards from our hand to give ourselves another combat step. And then Narset will attack again and put the Omniscience into play, which will then let us cast Emrakul. So I'm going to cast this one for free. So we can't lose the game at this point. We're guaranteed to win if I don't misclick. So now we cast Fury of the Horde by exiling 2 red cards from our hand. This deck can win on the first turn of the game. This is currently the second turn, so we're a little bit slow here. We didn't win till turn 2. It's a little I'm disappointed too. So we do this. And now we cast Omniscience, and then with Omniscience in play, we cast Enter the Infinite again, so we can put a card back on top of our deck so we don't deck out next turn. And then we cast Emrakul with Omniscience to take an extra turn. And then we put a card back on top of our deck so we can draw a card for the turn. And then next turn we'll attack them for 15 and they'll die. This was turn 4. They took 2 turns. We took 2 turns. 2 plus 2 is 4. Come on now. It's basic math, people. Modern is very much a turn 4 format. It's just way too much work, Korluski. The amount of money single YouTube videos makes is just like super negligible. Like your videos need to be getting like, I don't know, probably upwards of like 6 digits worth of views to be like at least 5 digits worth of views to like make single videos worthwhile in terms of making money. In comparison to the amount of effort it takes to like make stuff and just stream on Twitch. And like some channels make money off of that. So like when your thing gets as large as like Goldfish, like obviously like those and Channel Fireball and Starseed, like those videos probably make them some money. But like a lot of those places are like selling other ad network stuff as well, right? Like it's just far easier to monetize on Twitch, because one of the things I was testing was like in those YouTube exclusive videos, I was reminding people that they could like subscribe on Twitch and stuff like that, because like the bulk of my money is subscriptions, right? Like there's some ad money in this, but like the bulk of the money that you make streaming on Twitch when you're full time is like sub revenue. And like I still lost, you know, another 200 subscribers over the weekend, taking 3 days off. So the YouTube exclusives over the weekend did not stop the sub point hemorrhaging, which happens when you take time off from streaming on Twitch. It's a really easy mulligan, right? This I go either way on this hand. This hand doesn't have either of our combo pieces in it. No, I understand how to read metrics, Curtin, and like I have the data on which subs are gifted and which aren't. Varvite, thanks for the 13-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. In fact, the bulk of the gifted subs had fallen off a while ago. Hey, Root Samurai, thanks for the 4-month resub. Welcome back, folks. Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. Yeah, it has Leyline, 2 mana, and like Faithless Looting, so like it's probably a keep, right? My opponent went to 5 cards. I think I'm gonna keep and just like hope to do stuff. Hey, Rionin, thank you very much for the brand new Prime support. Hope you're having a good one wherever you're at. Yeah, it's probably better than the average 5. I agree with that. Not necessarily Flame Burst. So the way Twitch and Twitch Prime works is that when people aren't watching you, especially if they have Twitch Prime and like they go and watch someone else instead, they then Prime sub to the other people that they happen to be watching when their Prime sub comes back up. So oh, that's true. That's true. We would have had another 6. That's fair. Like in any given point, like half or more of my subs are Prime subs. How we doing, Foxicon? Thanks for the 9-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here. So just like trust me when I say like I'm not just winging it here. When I'm making changes based on data and trying things, and like I'm looking at all of the numbers. This is my job. I'm a moderately intelligent individual, and like I know how to analyze data and like look at it reasonably. Take a step back and try and see what's working and what's not. Hey, Uprick, thanks for the 8 months. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here. Armo Choose with the 4-month resub. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. All right, well, none of that's the land I was looking for yet, but they also like, oh, you know what? We're probably dead, right? They've been to Ravenous Trap. Is it possible to just donate for a deck that I personally would like to play? Yeah, definitely. In fact, you can even pick archetypes too. So if you want to you know, send in, it's a minimum of $10 to add a standard deck to the queue or $25 for modern. You just say, hey, play your favorite combo deck or play your favorite type of deck in general. I'm always happy to do that. Those happen with some regularity. I missed your resub message. After killing my opponent on turn 2 of 100 people open quarterfinals, I asked the judge if Stonefort Mystic was too good for modern. He laughed and asked me to keep playing. That's great. All right, so we're dead, right? I don't have any way to make black mana. God bless. Welcome to Thunderdome. Well, we've won 2 games in 3 matches, so basically we're batting above average. So I only expect to win 2 games in 5 matches with this deck. So onward, upward, backward, forward. Have you tried using the Twitch upload functionality for hosting videos instead of YouTube? What's going on, Dows? Thanks for the 19-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here. So I haven't done that, Thoughtseize, because based on feedback I've had from people and my own experience watching things, channels that broadcast replays on Twitch tend to lose followers because people who watch stuff on Twitch tend to come to Twitch for live content. And like people who watch my stuff with any amount of regularity are like aware of the fact that like I have a YouTube channel, so I'm not sure why anybody would come to my Twitch channel looking for replays. What's going on, Mulv? Yeah, it's been a little while. Looks like you got a shield there next to your name. I appreciate the 12 bunches of support. Have a sword to go along with it. All right, onward, upward, backward, forward. $100 card hero with the 2-month resub. Thanks for shipping your Bezo bucks this way again this month. I appreciate that. Welcome. You're right. Ravenous Trap does not work through Leyline. You are correct. I conceded that other game because they played a Blood Moon. I didn't concede because they could have had a Ravenous Trap. I conceded because they played Blood Moon. Yeah, with Magic Online, there's no background noise. It's just me talking. So moving forward, all of my streams are going to be a little bit of Magic Online and a whole lot of Arena every single day. So plans to do 2 to 3 hours of Magic Online in the morning, and then do 4 to 6 hours of Arena in the afternoon. That was a main deck relic out of Skred. I'm gonna do this split schedule for, I don't know, probably 3 to 4 weeks, and then reassess afterwards what the numbers look like from doing that. Skred did win a Grand Prix. That's very true. Over the hump towards the sword. Keep up the great work. Thanks for the 7 months, Captain Jack. I appreciate that. Yeah, Arena's been great. Yeah, that's what I'm interested to see if happens, Socio Penguin. So the way Twitch works is someone who's like super data driven. If you haven't heard me say this before, regardless of what I'm streaming, the first hour and a half to 2 hours I'm streaming is like building up viewer count. So I'm interested to see if doing Magic Online during that build-up period has a negative impact on the arena numbers, or a positive impact, or what. What do you think of Mono Red Arc-like in Modern? A friend told me it's solid. I think it's probably fine. It's just like another linear deck that's just like not better than, it's just like another bad Storm deck in my opinion. Raven, thanks for the Twitch Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome. You're shipping your Bezo bucks this way this month. I appreciate it. Yeah, Arena is very addictive. Video games are great. Magic's great. So Magic video game is kind of just like an A+. This game's really good. It just needs to find a second mana source to kill on turn 2. Sign me up. Go land, looting, ditch some Narsets, then Goryo's Vengeance are back on turn 2. Floop that piggy right into play. I think Blue-Red Arclight's the way to go if you want to play Arclight in Modern. Honestly, in my opinion, I haven't been super impressed with either of those decks. They've both just seemed like mediocre Storm decks. And I get they're doing something that's like a little bit different, but like they're just like this linear deck that's just like doesn't, in my opinion, if your linear deck isn't fast enough to race Storm and Lightning Bolt's your only interaction, you're not something I'm really interested in doing. They Disrupting Shoaled my Faithless Looting. That's incredibly rude. No, I'm spreading it out, Anner. So I'm doing Modern every single day, and I'm doing Arena every single day. So I'm doing a little, I'm trying out mix and match, Anner. Rather than doing all one format one day and all a different format the next day, I'm trying to do a little bit of Magic Online and a little bit of Arena every day to see how the numbers go for that. Yeah, I agree, Flameburst. I think people, it's gonna do what happened with like Bridgevine and Dredge after Creeping Chill, right? Like a bunch of people are gonna pick up the Arclight decks and they're gonna play it and they're gonna realize that like this deck isn't doing anything that's that much more busted than everything else that happens in Modern, and they're just like gonna go back to playing the decks they like as opposed to trying to play this thing. All right, do you have a counterspell? They paused on that looting, so I felt like they could have possibly had a mana leak there. We'll see. Could have like a mana leak or a remand here. Thanks for the entertainment over the years. Dowlin, thanks for the 2-month Twitch Prime resub. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here. It's like some mono blue Delver action on the other side of the table. That's just a remand. Remand is better for us than mana leak, because it means we get to try again next turn. Not playing Magic Duels every day. I got some bad news for the Magic Duels fans out there. That one might be dead. All right, let's do it. Let's go, go, go. Charge. All right, hit me, dealer. Hey, that's a little awkward. I do have the Fury of Horde in my hand here at least. So I get to cast Omniscience, and then I can cast the Fury of the Horde from my hand using the Omniscience. So that sounds good. Onward, onward, upward, backward, forward. What if they're on like the next level and they like had a counterspell, but they were saving it for whatever Narset hit? I do technically get the mana rock. That's true. All right, so Narset gets to take another shot here. The shot hood round the world. All right, baby. Wow, woof. All right, so we're not just dead yet. So I get to hit them for 3 here, and then I get to cast this Serum Powder, and then I get to flashback this Faithless Looting using red, colorless, and then I can hit something off of this because I can cast it with the Omniscience. Woof. All right, so I'll discard these 2. I get to cast this Faithless Looting with Omniscience. Wow. Holy gosh. That's really unfortunate. I guess I just do this and then like cast her with Omniscience, right? Woof. Try again next turn. What incredibly unlucky. They get a 4th turn. Yeah, we were a little unfortunate with those hits there, but it's okay. We'll persevere. I don't think. Oh, you have just casual Narset in play. No big deal. All right, if they have a God, it was the next card. If they have another Snapcaster Mage here, no, we're still fine, right? Because she has first strike. So if they triple block here, I get to first strike down these 2, and then Delver can't kill her. God bless Narset having first strike. They can technically kill her in combat, but the things they have in play don't kill her in combat. Wow! Give them the old nimble obstructions. Well, I'm glad we drew Fury of the Horde for the turn. I'm glad. Man, what kind of psychopath plays nimble obstructionist? This format. It's fine. We drew Fury of the Horde for the turn. We drew Fury of the Horde for the turn. It's fine. Everybody calm down, okay? I'm not panicking. You're panicking. Colonic Cannon, thanks for the 3-month resubscription. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here. Fragabo, thanks for the quarter of a year. Welcome back. Thanks for shipping your Bezo bucks back this way again this month. All right, whew. We hit the Enter the Infinite. All right, deterministic has been declared. Deterministic has been declared. Enter the Infinite. Throw something back on top of my deck. Cast this. I like how every spell in my hand has like double Omniscience options on it. It's like good, clean magic onlining. I believe the opponent's on mono blue tempo. We haven't seen any red cards out of them yet. All right, Boseiju, who shelters me, please get in my deck. The old board up to 15 lands here, a true modern classic. Mono blue wizards. Tasty. We are 0-4. This is the last match of this league, and then we're gonna move on to humans, where we'll hopefully manage to win entire matches. Brilliant Ultimatum says you exile the top 5 cards of your deck, and then your opponent splits them up into 2 piles, and you can cast half of one of those 2 piles without paying their mana cost. I would like the record to reflect that we have 3-2'd leagues with this deck before. This deck is just incredibly hard to play. It's not that the deck is bad, it's that it's just difficult to play, and I'm not a true master with it. If I was a true master, this deck would have a better record, obviously. Let's go on debate. I did answer Inner. So I'm changing my schedule up, so instead of doing all of one format on different days, I'm doing both formats every day. So all 5 days a week are going to include Magic Online / Modern, and every day is going to include Standard / Magic Arena. You played Bant Spirits recently. I've played Bant Spirits. I don't know what you would classify as recently, though. I don't remember when exactly that occurred. Ever want blue pack? You usually don't have a ton of cards. You usually don't have a ton of cards extra. So like Pact of Negation, I think, is a little bit worse than the other. Missed the Christmas stream, but hope you and your family had a great one. Toggle Bogle, thanks for the 3-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here. Alright, get my looting on. We're just looking for a Narset here. Those are not Narsets. Dig, dig, dig. Basically, Anner, I'm trying to strike the correct balance of getting the most modern on stream while still optimizing or maximizing my viewer count is my goal. So I'm seeing if my average viewer counts are higher if I do modern into arena versus just like all arena one day and all Magic Online different days. All right, so we get to Boseiju here, which means our spells can't be countered from here on out. You have an end step Snapcaster Mage. Yeah, get that Ambush Viper, opponent. So can we just like take a moment to appreciate how awful this card is compared to Cavern of Souls? This card enters tapped, it's legendary, it only makes colorless mana, and you have to pay 2 life for it. So just like appreciate how pushed creatures are compared to that. Yeah, I'm hoping, J-Bot. I think it'll also get some cross-pollination too. Like I think doing Arena after Modern will get some people that only look at Modern to like look at Standard and Arena, and vice versa. I think there's gonna be some people that show up early for Standard that then take a look at some Modern stuff. Leclaire, thanks for the 35-month resubscription. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here. Just casual, take three life to cast their spell. And we'll see. Like I said, nothing set in stone. So if we try this and it's not good, I can always roll back to doing it like it was before. But I'm gonna give this to probably at least 3 or 4 weeks of doing both. I also think it'll probably be good for the YouTube videos too. Like when I post 5 modern videos in a day or 5 standard videos in a day, they all get less views. Whereas if I post 1 or 2, they get more views. So if it spreads that love out a little bit too on that end. Smart not taking anything here. Woof. All right. I guess I'm technically not dead yet, so I can discard these two, and I'll play this land out. And then if we draw another Faithless Looting next turn, I could Faithless Looting into a thing. I'm ready to be pollinated. Oh, baby. Pollinate me, baby. All right. Faithless Looting, please. Looks like the opponent is in fact playing mono blue, by the way. Have yet to see any other color land out of them. All right, that's fine. We won game 1 because we're professionals. We can take game 3 on the draw. Now that didn't matter because we were just out of time at that point. Four of a kind. I think I like this new Goryo's Vengeance art, by the way. I'm not quite sure how I feel about it. What's my opinion on Faithless Looting being legal in Modern? I think Faithless Looting and Ancient Stirrings are like the brainstorm of Modern. They're cards that should have been banned a really long time ago, but they haven't, and at this point they're just like parts of the format that you just like have to live with. If you don't want to deal with Faithless Looting and Ancient Stirrings, you should just play a different format. It's my birthday and Narset cannons on stream. Put these towards Grixis Shadow. Will do, Ryam. Thanks for the support. I appreciate it. Sided Stony Silence. Get out of here. I think this is just an easy redo here. I have the Serum Powders. Getting a Narset into exile is actually upside with Pull from Eternity. All right, so I have a way to put Narset into the bin. I have a Boseiju. I think I just keep this because I just like need a Goryo's Vengeance to win the game. And I have my just need a Goryo's Vengeance. They mulligan 2/6. They Skred top. I think Ancient Stirrings is a bigger offender in things like KCI rather than things like Tron. Like, don't get me wrong, it's like pretty offensive everywhere, but like if I had to pick somewhere, I would say it's more offensive in KCI. At least like it's very obvious when you're dead to Tron, and like KCI, it's not always abundantly clear. You're like, well, they could technically brick off here, so I should like sit here and be miserable. I kept this because it has Boseiju and it has a way to put Narset into my graveyard. So I just need to draw Goryo's Vengeance to kill them. What's the reason I kept this hand? And your hands can't always have everything perfect, so, you know, here we are. Doesn't Affinity use Stirrings as well? There's some iterations of Affinity that were playing Stirrings, but it's not super common. It's not, I wouldn't say it's the norm at this point. Yeah, here's the thing. The people, I'm going to start timing people out who are talking about banning things in Modern. They're not going to ban anything in Modern. You're just beating your face against the wall. If you want to play a format that's more fair than Modern, play Standard. That's just my advice to you. Modern's not going to change, and pretending that it is going to change or could change because they want it to be different is nonsense. They've shown us time and time again at this point that they're happy with what Modern is. And if you don't like Modern for what it is, that's fine. But you should just play a different format rather than hoping they change Modern. There are a lot of people who like Modern being the degenerate mess that it is now. And that's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with enjoying Modern for the degenerate mess that it currently is. Have a Goryo's Vengeance, please. Man. Woof. Alright. Discard these, I guess. I think I'm just flashing this back here. This is like all I need is a Goryo's Vengeance. Let's just like dig deep. And there's nothing wrong with enjoying the sweet explosive gameplay that exists in Modern. It's fine. It's fun to blast off on occasion. It's why we play this deck, right? Like, we play this Narset Cannon deck because it's fun to blast off on occasion. Oh, that's an incredibly good use of disrupting Shoal Opponent. Just such an incredibly it literally puts the text can't be countered on the card. Literally puts the text can't be countered on the card. But here we are. So you know, whatever. Who am I? I'll take it, I guess. No, that's not true at all, Rickard. It's very possible to have a fair format that's not just standard. Very, very possible. Good Lord. Sometimes, sometimes you get 32 cards in your deck. I guess that's not completely fair. I was going to say without a Goryo's Vengeance. We exiled a Goryo's Vengeance earlier. So we're technically, we started with a 53 card deck that had 3 Goryos in it and haven't found another at this point. Wow, this is an incredibly good play from the opponent. Just bounce their Boseiju. So like now if we rip the Goryo's Vengeance next turn, they can counter it. Really good line from them. What was the favorite gift? I know Uncle Matt kind of knocked the gifts out of the park last night. He what was it? We had he got us this toilet flushing game for the kids that like sprays water in their face. That was really funny. All right, one more shot at a Goryo's Vengeance, please. Woof. Woof. Yeah, it's exactly like Don't Wake Daddy. All right, did I get one more shot here? All right, they didn't flip the thing on the ice. All right, come on. We're 1 in 10. Three Goryos and 30 cards. Tilt. Underlip next. The insight on Magic is something I would buy and read if you wrote a book, so take this sub as a thank you. Hope your winter break's going well. Thanks for the 2 months. Welcome back. I appreciate it. Thanks for keeping me employed here. All right. So Narset Cannon won 1, 2, 3 games in that league, which you could argue is above average. I expect to win 2 games per league with this deck, and we won 3. So set your goals low so it's easy to achieve them. Onward, upward.